Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the Sunderland versus Chelsea game, which will take place tomorrow night. As the usual previews go, I will start off with our lineup, the lineup that I think we're going to go with and that I think Antonio Conte is going to go with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up four different sort of lineups around me, because those are the four different ones that I think either one of those four we're going to go with. So there's obviously the one that we've been playing so far for a few games now, other than the Man City game with Matic being injured. It has always been the same. But now, obviously, that is a midweek game. We haven't had as much rest. So I was thinking, especially against a team like Sunderland, maybe Fabregas could start the game. Because you could see once he came on, even though it didn't take long after he came on to score the goal against West Brom, he did make an impact. So I'm thinking maybe that is an option. And also, Pedro hasn't been doing that well. Well, I say that. He wasn't that great against West Brom. Let's just say that. A rest, he's played on Sunday. So maybe a rest won't do him too badly and Willian should start the game. So that is personally what I would go with. Start Fabregas instead of Matic and start Willian instead of Pedro. Keep the rest the same, but there's obviously the option of starting Fabregas but keep Pedro in the team, or keeping Matic in the team but starting Willian. Obviously, just keeping it the same. So the lineup that I'd go for is Thibaut Courtois in goal, Gary Cahill as the left-sided centre-back, David Luiz as the centre-back, Azpilicueta as the right-sided centre-back, Marcos Alonso as the left wing, Victor Moses as the right wing-back, Fabregas and N'Golo Kante as the two centre-mids, Eden Hazard, Diego Costa and Willian being the three forwards in that lineup. But which one out of those four it's going to be, I don't know. If any one of you wants to know why I'm not thinking about Zuma, again, he still hasn't been in the squad. Once he's been on the bench once, I will start considering him for a starting 11. But until he hasn't even made the squad, I'm not considering him for starting, to start a game, because it's just not going to happen. Let's be honest, it's just not going to happen. As much as I wanted to, I'm obviously not at training every day like Antonio Conte is, so he knows best if he's ready to play a game or not. Quite simple. Talking about Sunderland, first of all, I'm going to run you through a few things. They haven't been doing so badly as of late. The last 5 games, they won 3 and lost 2. So going backwards, fair enough. They lost their last game 3-0 away to Swansea, which is a terrible result because Swansea haven't been doing well either. Before that, they beat Leicester at home 2-1, lost 2-0 away to Liverpool, which isn't actually that bad. Beat Hull 3-0 at home, and before that they beat Bournemouth away from home 2-1, even though they got a bit fortunate in that game. But as I said, they're not doing that badly recently, even though they're bottom of the table. The 20th, only 11 points. But talking about their lineup, I'm going to put up the lineup that standard.co.uk predicted or said is the most likely lineup that they're going to go with against us. I've also seen them apparently playing a 4-3-3. To be honest, I haven't watched any games, and there was different apps and different websites saying 4-3-3, something 4-4-2. I'm just going to put up a 4-4-2 now, and obviously their main man being Jermaine Defoe. He's already on 8 goals this season, which for a striker, with the team that's bottom of the league, that's a very good ratio, so we definitely have to watch out for Jermaine Defoe. And obviously a player that we know, Babis Chiluboji, a centre-back, maybe can pop up with an own goal or so. And also Van Aanholt, who obviously was a Chelsea player a few years ago, who's actually doing quite well for Sunderland, one of the better players at Sunderland as far as I know. But yeah, can we pick up our 10th win in a row? That is obviously the main question. It would be vital. Of course, you can't lose to the team that's bottom of the table. But as most of you will probably know, Sunderland is one of our bogey teams. Sunderland and Newcastle, we never do well against them, especially away. So and it is a Wednesday night. It's gonna be cold, possibly raining. It's not something that Fabregas, Willian, Pedro. It's not a weather that they're perfectly suited for. Let's just say that. Of course, we still should win. I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but it's always been our bogey team. So I'm not as confident as, for example, Younes was in his preview. the 10th win, I think we're going to get it. But again, I think it's going to be a pretty difficult game. How I think the game is going to go, I'm pretty sure Sunderland will sit back. Maybe not as much as West Brom, because they're at home as well, and also simply because they're not as good at defending. So just sitting back would probably not work out for them at all. But I'm not going to be as confident as Eunice, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. As I said in my review of the West Brom game, we haven't been that incredible after the last international break, so I'm going to go with the 2-0. I've been more than satisfied with 2-0. All that matters is 3 points, isn't it? And then another thing that I simply have to talk about is Azpi today signed a new 3.5-year deal at Chelsea, which commits him to the club until 2020, which is obviously great news. He's a great player. He shows great attitude. He seems like a great guy as well when I see interviews or like clips of the club or whatever. He in an interview he gave after signing the contract, obviously he says that he's really happy, he enjoys working with the new manager, and he's really happy at the club. So I'm happy about him signing a new contract. I hope you are as well, because he's Dave Azpilicueta. But yeah, no, of course I'm very happy about that. Also, it's pretty much all I've got to talk about. Check out Eunice's preview as well. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you happy that Azpilicueta signed a new contract? What do you think about my predictions? I mixed it up a little bit today because, as I said, midweek game, so there might be a few changes and not exactly the same as it has been. Are you happy with those predicted lineups? What are your predicted lineups? And also, what was your match prediction? As I said, I'm going with a 2-0. Eunice going with a 3-0. So yeah, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Check out all our social media links, which are down in the description below. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also Snapchat. We do massively appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Buzzing for the game, and I'll see you next time.